Hello everyone, I thought I would talk about going through the first 10 prestiges of Modern Warfare Remastered, and of course the long road to 100% challenge completion, all the things I've learned so far, what my stats were like at every prestige, as bad as they are, things like that, because I've seen some interest arise from people curious about how it's going, looking for a challenge progress update kind of thing, or the Colonel put it well, it could be like a follow-up video to the limiting factor challenges discussion thing, a weird video in retrospect, but now I can perhaps do a better job at that, because it only becomes more and more clear which challenges are still left standing after all that time in game and focusing on getting a lot of them done. If you want to skip to that part where I eventually talk about the challenges, I'll have some timestamps in the description. Also, this video will be very similar to the Prestige montage recap videos I've done for each game in the past, which people always seem to enjoy more than I'd expect, although those videos were done more so as an end cap to the game. When I've reached the end of the line, I've prestiged all the way, done all the challenges, and want to look back on it all. Well, I'm far from being done with Modern Warfare, but with 20 prestiges and 1,000 levels, it seemed smart to maybe split the first 10 prestiges into a video now. And I guess final introductory remark, I often see suggestions for doing things like live commentaries, going for challenges, but I just don't see how I could make that entertaining. The challenges are either easy and trivial and can be done in a video, or take a really long time to earn, dozens or maybe hundreds of games, making progress towards them a little bit at a time. It could work in a live stream format, but that's about it, and my internet is quite poor for that. I tend to make one live commentary gameplay video per year, and that is the first game tradition, but other than those, which I don't even think are that good, I can't see myself making quality videos out of that idea. But here's a bit of a compromise. I'll make a couple updates like these talking about the 100% challenge journey. Well, here's me right now. I have the challenge completion you see here, and I am Prestige 12, but I don't want the video to be called The First 12 Prestiges of MWR. That's pretty stupid, so I'll go up to Prestige 10. We'll work our way back up to this point to talk a bit more about the challenges I still have left to do and why they're taking so long, but let us travel back in time to the first Prestige, to Friday, November 18th. In previous games, I usually Prestige once in the first couple days, and despite this being the first time I was actually playing the game well before the release date, it somehow took 2 whole weeks to Prestige. Well, not somehow. I was much more interested in making videos and I didn't have any other free time to spare, but I eventually got to level 55, and while there's not a whole lot of progress to show off in the first Prestige, of course, my stats, as usual, hovering around the neutral 1 KD, and obligatory explanation, I know I can try harder and do better, especially from using the better guns. I'm sure I could hold something well above 2, but I'm way more interested in the pseudo sense of accomplishment from completing the challenges than any satisfaction coming from showing off my stats, because anytime I've tried to care about stats, it just makes the game suck, and I go right back to not caring. Suddenly a game where I'm dying a lot on shipment, but getting fast XP, goes from a good satisfying game of completing challenges quickly, to absolute rage-filled hell, death after death I have no control over, and I can only imagine how quickly my stats are dropping, and then I remember that number doesn't mean anything to anyone I know. Who the hell am I trying to impress? And I go right back to not caring, and suddenly, the game goes back to being fun again. I like competition as well. I like taking it seriously in Search and Destroy, as I've said before, but I'm always reminded why I should not be bothered by average-looking stats, although they are still fun to look at because I like stats in general. It seems like no matter what COD game I'm playing, when I'm in full challenge hunting mode, I always end up right around the average, and that's fine with me. While I was making decent progress in the challenges, 23% career, especially making headway in the bootcamp category, those are pretty easy to get done quickly, but the first time through, of course, I was unlocking challenges as I went, hence why there was really no progress made in the Valor category, but from then on, all of them would be unlocked permanently, and I could be working on them all the time. Well, let's hit that Prestige 1 to answer some of people's concerns. I mean, you could find this information in many places by now, I'm sure, but all the challenges stay unlocked, of course. Your camos and progress is all fine. The only thing that resets really is the attachments that you need to re-earn for your weapons, and you still unlock the weapons and perks as you level up, except for one thing you can choose to unlock forever with that unlock token. You can also hold on to them. That was a question I got. I just held on to mine. I didn't have anything I needed right away. Now to magically max out my level 8 days later, Saturday, November 26th, I believe this was the first double XP event for MWR. I kept working on various weapons, making only a little bit of progress on each of them. I've explained that general philosophy many times before. For some reason I thought it'd be cool to inspect the Commander Desert Eagle, because I didn't do it the first time. I like that they kept that in there to replace the old gold Desert Eagle, since you can now just earn a gold camo for the regular Desert Eagle. 38% career challenges now, and only 5% on the camo, which looks depressing and terrible. terrible, but again, I spread everything out. Even though it would be very satisfying to narrow in on one gun, get it to gold, and move on to the next one, it seems like a much more efficient idea to work on the highest level weapon that you have unlocked first, so that you're never stuck using a lower level gun that you already have all the camos for in order to unlock a gun that you need to work on. Worded that kind of terribly and quickly because I'm conscious of how many times I've said that before. And speaking of things I've said before, it's also good to have all the weapon classes simultaneously so you can use them on maps that they're best at. So when a sniper map like Block comes up, I can work on a sniper camo, or to a lesser extent, Pipeline, Crossfire, Bog, Overgrown. Those all sound like good sniper maps to me. And then when Shipment comes up, I can work on shotguns, and when Vacant or Showdown comes up, I can work on an SMG, and pretty much everything else I can work on an assault rifle or LMG. Those are obviously not strict guidelines. You can find a way to use different guns on any of those maps, but there are some maps where certain playstyles have an obvious advantage. Well, I feel like I've repeated myself on that topic for the 5th time for no reason, but I think somebody did ask about which guns they should use on which maps, and again, my word isn't final, people will have different opinions, but that's roughly how I've been spreading it out to get work on all the categories. Looks like I hit the oh-so-shameful .99, Katie, in that prestige. There must have been more shotgun shipment than usual or something, but that will keep fluctuating. I did finish off the bootcamp challenges and made good progress on the others. I checked the leaderboards for the first time as well, because why not? I was in the top 2%, which is pretty cool, but it's not that hard to be high up in the levels in this game, with IW being so unpopular and with there being such a high price to play this game if you're not interested in IW. But you did see there on the leaderboard screen there were 2.4 million people who I presume have pressed the multiplayer button on the game at least one time, and that was as of way back then, a few weeks into the game. Well, welcome to Prestige 2, time to gain a ton of XP with the snap of a finger. This was the very next day, on Sunday, so clearly had to be a double XP weekend. Whenever I see 2 Prestiges back to back like this, I know something's up. This was a very fast Prestige because I started using the M16. I figured during double XP would be a good time to use the best guns to get as much XP doubled as possible. I was at 46% on the challenges, that didn't move much because it was such a quick Prestige. Only needed one more Claymore double kill to get that killer category done. Just one more, and the camos didn't really move much either because the M16 was being used so much. Still had yet to earn a single Red Tiger camo thanks to spreading everything out, and I remained in the top 2% of score on the leaderboards. Whenever I bring up the leaderboards, again, I'm not saying this is some kind of amazing accomplishment, but I must admit it's pretty fun to be playing a game where there are a lot of people playing, but not nearly as many as in the past, so these leaderboards actually mean something. With this being a pre-order bonus side game of an already unpopular game, I feel like I can end up getting pretty high on these leaderboards, and that's a fun side goal. I went through some individual stats just to see some of those. You maybe saw my KD did go up to 1.07. Ooh, big leap. That was just because of all the M16 usage, surely. But alright, Prestige 3. Now, plenty of time goes by, December 16th here, they have now added the supply drop depot. The credits are going to start accumulating up there in the top. Because I never spent them after that first video I made about them, I think I'll make another smaller video pretty soon where I use the data from counting how many I earned in each prestige to analyze how quickly depot credits are earned with what I'm assuming is a bigger data sample than anyone else has used to measure that. I haven't really been looking though. I also wanted to do that because some people have been saying the rate that you earn them slowed down with the most recent update. I don't think so, but worth looking into it. Of course, I'll also be comparing it to the time spent in game, because if I didn't, then the numbers would mean nothing, because double XP would mess with how many I earn in one prestige. But I am interested if there'll be a sudden drop in the number of credits earned. Well, 53% challenges and 12% camo. I finally earned a couple Red Tiger camos in this prestige, and the Dragunov is one away, but still no gold, and they added these extended challenges, of course, including those Winter Crash camos, which I just had to make sure to get done while the 24/7 playlist was around. And I did, of course, get the one more Claymore double kill to complete the killer category, and made bits of progress everywhere else. A 1.11 KD, okay then, glad it isn't dropping back down to the negative at least. And I dropped down a bit on the leaderboard because I didn't play too much, but still top 2% because more people keep logging into the game. Well then, we shall enter Prestige 4. Finally, in the middle of Prestige 4, during the big Christmas double XP Winter Crash event, I earned my first gold camo, about time, being the R700. There it is right there, and it might have looked like I already had gold on it, but that was the nickel-plated camo in yellow lighting. Well, along with that, prestiging on December 22nd here, I made my usual split-up progress on several other weapons, started using the RPD a ton because it's a good enough weapon to use during double XP, especially with the grip. The RPD is great. It's the one LMG I really love using with the grip. The saw I use in hardcore tap-shotting, and the M60 really needs a red dot because the iron sights are a mortal sin, but there's the R700, nice and shiny, and I made good progress on the Dragunov too, getting that up to Dragon Skin, but I stopped there because I do love efficiency, and because I knew I wasn't going to finish the ACOG kills challenge before prestiging, I wanted to leave the no attachments challenge at around 50 out of 150 kills, because it takes 100 kills to even unlock the ACOG scope. Might as well do both of those things all at once. It'd be a huge waste of time if I started on the ACOG kills challenge, prestiged, and then had to get another 100 kills with no attachments to unlock it again and continue the challenge, and there's no way I'm spending an unlock token on an ACOG site. So there's that tiny bit of efficiency theory. Katie at 1.1, about the same, 56% on the challenges and 19% on the camos, finally seeing good progress made there, with a lot more Blue Tiger being unlocked, pistols and snipers getting pretty far ahead as well, also getting much closer to finishing the Winter Crash camos, must get them done during the event so I'm not tortured by incomplete challenges. More generic challenge progress, I won't go into detail yet, and guess what? After all of that double XP, I've launched myself back ahead of where I was on the leaderboards, and because of all that, and because of all the people signing into the game, I can call myself the 1% of MWR. Really big deal, I know, right? Well, Prestige 5 time, long way to go. All that RPD usage in the Winter Crash event was about to pay off. There's the RPD Red Dot Rampage, and of course, the Gold RPD. This guy's not gonna ruin my moment, get out of here. I didn't bother touching the Dragunov at all because I knew I wasn't going to complete it. Made some good progress on other weapons, was all finished with the headshots for the M1014 and the M60. I rarely go through all these medals. I did get a 30 kill streak for the first time without really trying to, which sounds douchey, I guess, but what I mean by that isn't, wow, I'm so good, because if I was really good, I'd have more than 130 kill streak by that point. What I mean by that is if I was trying to complete that unstoppable challenge, I'd be in tryhard camping sound whoring mode with an M60, which I have yet to do. I had got that 30 kill streak with an M60 red dot sight on block, without my headset on, and I think the only explanation for that is Christmas noobs, but at the same time, this was recorded on December 24th, so I don't think that quite adds up. Anyway, good challenge progress, good camo progress. It'd be a waste of time to try to go through all of the challenges and see what changed. I will discuss the challenges that are left at the end of all this. I did complete all the Winter Crash challenges though, no need to worry about those anymore. I can go back to the regular maps. And as for the leaderboards, which I'm starting to really enjoy checking, still 1% of course, and now in the top 20,000. Yeah, Prestige 6, here we come. This time I finally decided to get the Dragunov done, got the gold for that, and was also able to finish off the M60. So only had the saw remaining in the LMG category. This was 2 days later on Boxing Day. There was that whole week of double XP, of course, around Christmas. I did use the M16 some more, got the Barrett headshots done as well, and actually got the saw headshots done in hardcore too, so very close to the Regal LMGs. Got a 1.17 KD now, surprisingly not going back down. Maybe that's the Christmas noob effect. It is possible I actually improved over time as well, shocking idea. Or maybe everyone else just got worse. No way to tell for sure. 62% career challenges and 33% for camo. All LMG headshots done, shotguns are getting there, and nearly all sniper headshots. Just got the M40 left behind because it's the first unlocked, not because I don't like it, that's obviously not true. And the pistols as well. Headshots are done for everything but the M9. Leaderboard time. Drum roll please. Around 16k, not bad. Enter Prestige 7. Got a couple gold pistol camos done. Flashback to the Extreme Speed Challenge Guide video. This is the same Vacant game where I was trying to figure things out. Of course, Extreme Speed is now super easy. I didn't need to waste all that time running around. But a bit later in that game, I got the gold Deagle camo done. Yes, there's a little fact for you. Being in Last Stand does count as being prone, which is only a challenge for the Deagle because there are no Deagle attachments. For now, watch them put akimbo in supply drops. But you could use that Last Stand knowledge for other challenges, like getting prone knife kills maybe. Getting knife kills in Last Stand should count. Not that that's really an easy thing to do. Well, here's another pistol camo unlock, once again with Scumbag Last Stand. Last Stand definitely makes the pistol challenges fly by if you're looking for a no-brainer way to get them done. But the Christmas double XP finally ran dry, so here we are on January 19th with a 1.19 KD. More progress made on a bunch of weapons, trending up a little at a time. 67% career challenges and 43% camo. I knew camo would catch up eventually, even though it was only going up by a couple percent in the first two prestiges. You can see how close some of these categories are getting. The LMGs, shotgun snipers, and pistols all nearly complete. Expanded challenges going well, and as for the leaderboards, yeah, around 18k. Whenever I take a few weeks to prestige, I drop down a little bit, but whenever I grind out 2 prestiges in a double XP weekend, all that lost ground is made up in a hurry. Well, hello, Prestige 8. Without double XP, a ton of camo challenges finally got done, starting with the Saw, got that to gold, which also meant the first Regal camo earned would be for the LMGs. Next, I was hiding near a bomb site trying to get kills on bomb planters and diffusers, but ended up instead earning the gold USP on this glitchy guy teleporting around. Then I used a shotgun outside of shipment here, very rare occasion indeed, but this was during the Shotguns and Pistols Weekend Warfare playlist, and I only needed a few kills to be done with the M1014, so there's that gold unlock, and maybe 20 minutes later, thanks to the same playlist, there's the M9 gold camo and pistol Regal camo, second Regal camo earned in the same prestige. And then, guess what? I was happy using shotguns on shipment, but no reason not to take advantage of the Weekend Warfare playlist, and I figured I'd finish off the Winchester 1200 as well, earning that gold and a third Regal camo in one prestige. The beauty of spreading everything out right there. Well, time to prestige here on January 28th. KD at 1.22, 72% career challenges. Finally got most of the game mode challenges done, only holding out on the free-for-all challenges. I've said before why I want to earn Exclusion Zone before ever playing free-for-all. Not like it really matters at all to anyone, but basically I wanted to prove that there would be no boosting going on for headshots and camos. There was some confusion last time I explained this. No, I don't think free-for-all is cheating in any way, but I believe your cage match stats, where it is kind of easy to cheat, and your free-for-all stats are both combined into just one category called free-for-all on the leaderboard, so I just said I wouldn't play either of them until I was done with the camos. That is all. Well, I already showed all the Regal camos I unlocked in that prestige, and I have worked my way back down on the leaderboards to 14k. Next goal is to break under 10k, and there are over 4 million players now. I haven't been counting that as we went, but obviously a big jump after Christmas. Prestige 9 time, almost there. I finally decided to finish off the M16, not like there was a big rush to do that, and I also finished off the 50 cal, getting that to gold, only leaving the M40 in the sniper category, but that was all for camos. Here on February 6th, finally going to be entering Prestige 10, and those depot credits are all about to disappear because they dropped their big weapon update when I was Prestige 10 level 2. 73% on the career challenges, only 1% higher than last time, getting to a standstill with some of the tougher challenges, but I was all done with game modes except for free-for-all. Now at 60% for camos, making general progress on the ARs and SMGs, nearly done with all the other categories. 1.25 KD, it would seem I must be trending towards being a somewhat better player at least, and at 12k on the leaderboards, almost in that top 10k. Well, Prestige 10, gotta love that classic icon. And here I am at the end of 10th Prestige on February 11th. No new gold camos earned because I spent most of the time with the new supply drop weapons. I'll be sure to scan through all the medals since it is a bigger milestone, but I won't keep going into Prestige 11 because I'm sure we have all had enough of this by now. The next 10 Prestiges should be in a video a long time from now whenever I feel like I'm done with the game. Maybe that'll be sometime after Prestige 20 at 100% challenge completion, ignoring the Prestige category, or maybe it'll actually be level 1000 depending on if I get tired of the game and if I'm actually interested in the next Call of Duty game, but here you can kind of see which challenges are taking the longest to complete. Gonna discuss that a bit more at the end. The overall camo progress hasn't changed much, as I said, and overall stats at Prestige 10, 30,000 kills, 8 days, 7 hours. I'm sure that time could be cut in half if I played with a full party of friends and searched for only domination shipment lobbies or something, or didn't waste several in-game hours running for the extreme speed challenge in the back of the map, which you no longer need to do. Can you tell I'm salty about that? But here's the fun part, the leaderboards, and so close to top 10k with nearly 4.5 million players now. We'll hit the prestige button to go to 11, but won't keep going through prestiges. Now I just want to skip to my current account and we'll take a look at challenges that have yet to be done and think about why they're taking so long. Boot camp was fairly straightforward, game modes would be done if I was allowing myself to play free-for-all, and killer was done a long time ago as well. Humiliation has a couple problems. Carpet bomb is taking a while, but I'm not worried about it. Now that I'm back to playing domination, I'll be playing on shipment more often, and I just need to keep calling in airstrikes. This will eventually complete itself, but the real concern in here is return to sender. You only need 3, but I have 0. Because it only requires 3 kills, if there was ever a challenge that I would consider boosting for to get it done, it would be this one. And that may sound hypocritical because I've obviously made it clear that I look down on boosting headshots, for example, so what's the difference? Well, to me, boosting headshots sounds like laziness. It defeats the purpose of the grind for headshots, because that's what it is. It's a big grind for a ton of headshots. And when you get to the end and use the camo, it's like, look at me, I mastered all the weapons in the game, and this is proof. Boosting for return to sender doesn't seem like laziness, because it isn't a lot of work, it's a lot of luck. This challenge isn't a grind, it's an incredibly lucky situation that I feel like I have no control over, and I don't know if I will ever complete. A couple of times I've seen people throwing out C4, and I'll try to shoot it as fast as I can, but it's never quick enough for it to blow up in their face. Well, for now, I'll leave it alone and hope for some luck. Maybe they'll have a weird weekend warfare game mode where you can only use C4, I don't know. Now with perks, I only very recently completed the double tap challenge, and I'm 2 away from completing double downed. Those are 2 big limiting factor challenges that I talked about in that video a couple months ago, and I'm glad I did, because last stand users are very rare in this game, which I'm happy about in general because it is annoying as hell, but that makes these challenges take a very long time. Every time I saw a last stand user on the other team, I switched to my pre-made class with double tap and last stand and tracked him down for the rest of the game, trying to put him into last stand and then let him put me into last stand and quickly get the kill. Finally, very close to being done with that one now after 12 prestiges of trying to get it done. Martyrdominated, I think everyone knows about. I still get questions about it now and then. It also requires a ton of luck. And to give myself good chances at completing it, I always make sure to have Sonic Boom Martyrdom every time I play Shipment, and that's about all you can do. I know some people have recommended holding a stun grenade when you die to hopefully keep somebody near you when you get killed, but that still relies on somebody being near you in the first place, and it relies on more people running near the blast at the perfect time. It still requires a ton of luck, basically, and I really don't want to be going 10 and 80 every Shipment game because I'm holding stun grenades when I could be just getting a ton of XP and still having an okay chance at getting it done over time. I think hitting level 1000 is farther away than getting lucky for this challenge, and I have earned 2 out of 5 so far by playing normally. And then there's Silent but Deadly here. I guess I mainly used Dead Silence in S&D, which meant I wasn't getting a ton of kills with the perk. I'm completing this much faster now that I have Dead Silence on every class, but it does take quite a bit of time to get done, earning kills within 6 feet of somebody, but that isn't a challenge that has me worried either. Dead Silence is a very good perk if you think the enemies are listening, and headsets are very common these days. In Valor, several challenges are still not completed. Collateral Damage is getting there. It's much easier now that they fixed all the collateral bugs in the game. Here are several more examples since the last time I talked about collaterals in the Airborne video. I won't repeat what I said about it last time, but mostly it is a luck-based challenge. Down here, the goddamn infamous counter MVP. Some people have showed me that they're straight up done with the challenge, while other people have earned it 1 or 2 times. I still have no idea what the hell is going on with it. Every theory people have suggested, they still kind of trail in over time, but I've been able to disprove them with one of the examples I have of it being earned or not earned. Very, very confusing, and I don't know what to think about it. Invincible is an interesting challenge, a very uncommon sounding situation. I've never tried to complete it. It's just one of those challenges that randomly pops up sometimes, and I'm like, oh, cool, okay then. If I had to come up with a strategy to complete this, I wonder if you could use Juggernaut, let an enemy helicopter shoot at you, but quickly get into cover each time or something. That might be a way to get it done, but I've never tried, and I've never thought about it until right now, because I never considered it a limiting factor challenge. I got 3 out of 5 without thinking about it, and I'll probably get the other 2 eventually the same way. At the bottom, apparently I need 1 more hexakill. That should happen on Shipment eventually, since if I look at my medals, apparently I do only have 2 hexakills, but I also have 2 mega kills and an ultra kill and a kill chain, so I'm sure another hexakill will happen at some point. And then I just need to spend some time going for higher kill streaks. I've yet to really go for those challenges. I just got that 1 lucky 30 kill streak on block with the M60 red dot. When I do eventually go for these challenges, I'll probably be in either Domination or Ground War Domination with the standard Bandolier M16 red dot tryhard class. Hopefully I can get those without too many rage-inducing close calls, and I'm confident that I can. And finally, in the Prestige category, there's a big mess of things I haven't even unlocked yet, but clearly this 100 Scalps challenge is maybe a tough one. 10 headshots in 1 match, and you need 80 of them. Granted, I've never tried for this challenge outside of just generally going for headshots for camos, so at some point I may need to focus on this challenge. Everything else should happen with time. Sharing is caring doesn't sound too bad. The I Am Ninja challenge will be an interesting one, that's for sure. Sounds like you need to go for the traditional ninja diffuses for that one. And then everything down here is just going through the levels, and everything in the expanded challenges we've already talked about. So there we go, went through the first 10 prestiges of the game and took a look at every challenge I've yet to complete. If you're at an earlier stage in the game, that should give you a very good idea as to what challenges will be the biggest problems eventually that you might want to start thinking about early. Time to wrap up this video that I'm sure has turned out very, very long. I may one day make the follow-up to this video with the next 10 prestiges, maybe even at level 1000, and hopefully 100% challenge completion. That's all for now though, thanks for watching, I will catch you next time.